Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the AFL fantasy match between Gold Coast and Melbourne, going through who scored well, who didn't, and who's a potential target with potential injuries, I guess. But before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here, you have Gold Coast here and Melbourne on the other side. We'll go through Gold Coast first, and like predicted, it was the Noah Anderson show, especially in the second half. I mean, he was on 43 at halftime and ended up a 132. An 89 second half was absolutely huge, and yeah, he just started to get disposals and started to really dominate the game AFL fantasy wise, and that's why he got top scorer in the match by 25 points. Then you have a couple of defenders here, and one of them's Will Powell, and a guy that I'm not 100% sure whether I want to risk it on him or not. Over the last day or two, he's been touted for me as a guy that I can bring in to sort of have, and also have him there because he'll enable me to get rid of two rookies on the bench, and upgrade to him. Does this work? No, I need that way. Nope. There. I need to just sit back a little bit. There we go. So that's why I'm looking at Powell, especially because if we look at Powell's performances, we see here 83 average, and he's only really priced at around 75 or so. And in the last 3 weeks, he has gone and scored at 104. And he has West Coast next week at Optus Stadium. That should be a really good scoring game for him. Then he has the Gabba against Brisbane. And then Western Bulldogs, where we've seen a lot of teams or a lot of fancy-friendly players go huge against them. And then we see him have Adelaide before the really good bye round. And then we have McPherson, who I brought in over many people saying steal, and yeah, just a gut feeling at the end of the day that he was the better player to bring in. I know Steele won't score 80s consistently. That was just an odd game from Steele, but to get a 20-point swing with that, as well as probably a gaining cash of around, I don't know, let's actually check these two. Where is McPherson? Here he is. McPherson in the end gained 38k, and Steele, I think, maybe even lost cash. Lost 19k, so a 57k swing in the end. And I was able to save cash, allowing me to do this. I was able to get Aitken in as well. And I was able to bring in Powell the week after this week as well, or someone else. So it really has set me up well going for a sort of value pick, and it could have easily backfired, but I just like the role McPherson's in. He could have easily, if we look at their second half, he only got 42 in the second half. He could have easily gone 120, 125, and he's got that really favourable matchup against West Coast, where honestly I was joking with I think it was Josh on Twitter, saying that that basically he should just they should just win the game in the first half against the Eagles, and then just have a mandatory kick between the backmen at West Coast, for Gold Coast for the whole second half, and then just get 200 uncontested marks and get huge fantasy scores for them. Then we come to FIORINI. Really good score from him. I'm still worried about the role that he really has, and I don't know whether it is sustainable, but I'll have to look into that more during the week, as there's only really 2 or 3 guys that you can look at the price range that I have, unless I go from Ashcroft, who might get a rest, but we don't know yet with that. Aitkens, again, huge from him, like to bring him in, and then for him to do that was huge. And yeah, just got the score needed, and I don't even, like with him, all I'm looking for is 70s or above, and he's gone 86 and 102 the week prior, so he has the ability to go large. I mean, he's getting kickouts, and I don't think they can really drop him after, I don't know if Long is out or not. I will, do they have the updated injury list? injuries, let's see. Gold Coast, GWS, Gold Coast. Miller, no, that's May 2nd and we're May 9th. So we're probably going to see an update today with regards to injuries. And I don't know if Ben Long's going to be out, but I know that Ballard should be fine. I mean, unless he has some sort of reoccurrence in training or something like that flares up his neck or something like that, he's going to be fine. So I don't think Aitken gets dropped. I mean, who are you going to bring in? You're not going to bring in Constable because he's literally Aitken 2.0. And you're not going to bring in Ireland at the moment because he's not AFL ready. So there's not really a defender they can really bring in. So, and also, so yeah, I just don't think you can. And bring anyone in. And I mean, you know, I don't know what they'll do, but they'll obviously, I think the ones that are going to get dropped first are probably going to be Davey. Collins might even get dropped before you get Aikens in there because, I don't know, let me just go to the AFL and then we go to fixture and then we go to round 8 and we go to this game here. Then we go to player stats, my stats, turnovers, Stephen May, Petrarca, McPherson with 7. Aitken with 7. I mean, you have Bailey Humphrey here as well, who I thought had a good game, had 7 and 5 clangers as well. Rao, Lukosius, Powell, Fiorini. I mean, if you look at the advanced stats and you go disposal efficiency, you're looking at Fritz was terrible. Sardis only had like a couple touches. So McPherson, you're not going to drop him. Ben Long was the next worst by disposal efficiency. Ben Long, Lemons, Rao, Aitkens a good 6% higher than Ben Long. And he also had another like 8 or 9 touches, I'm guessing. If we go here, where is Ben Long? Ben Long only had 14 touches, whereas Aitken, wherever he is, Aitken had 22, so 8 more touches and a better disposal efficiency is obviously probably going to be better. And yeah, so I think that's why Aitkens gets at least another week. But if he doesn't get a week, then we'll just trade him out, honestly, for probably Powell. It's as simple as that because he's around the same price. He's a little bit more expensive than Philippou, who's the guy that I'm training out at the moment. So he just gets traded out and I go to Powell and I get 30 more K and I make a huge 70, 80K off that for 1 week and get a good plus 50 on most people who had to field Wilmot. And yeah, move on from that. Then we have Witsy, 78, Ballard, 78. Yeah, only really good third quarter for him, but obviously had those concussion issues or potential concussion / injuries. Rao, 76. Don't know how he only got 76 for the game that he had. Humphrey, 66. Yeah, just had he had only 3 tackles in the first quarter, didn't touch the ball. And yeah, he actually looked all right, but you know, I thought Flanders was really good, but then just did nothing in the fourth quarter. Rosas, Ellis, Long, no one else here really to talk about. Then we move on to Gawn here, 107, absolutely huge from him, especially that second quarter. And I think he's certainly an option if Marshall does pull up lame from that ankle, but I don't think he will. Oliver, 104, starting to drop in price, so I reckon we'll be able to get him, especially because I believe his break even is 130 this week. I believe it's 130. Let's look here. His break even is 137, so I think we'll be able to get him at around 980, 970 coming out of the buys and be able to upgrade maybe even Warple to him through Samson Ryan. That might be an opportunity, but I might have to give it a miss this year as I won't have enough cash gen. I'd rather finish off my team than to upgrade an 85-90 guy to a 110 guy rather than a rookie to a premium. Then you have Viney here, 89. Petrarca, really lame, 80. I mean, he could have easily gone and scored 100 here if he really put some effort in, but he missed. He kicked 1 goal, I think it was, and had another touch behind. So he really could have had about 3 goals here and really Even off just those, he gets to 91. But he also had a couple of a couple of free kicks against one. Did he have 3 in the end? He had at least 2. He might have had 3, which is not good. 2 free kicks against, which just isn't there. And only 26 touches. Really need to see him get up to that 30 touch mark. Then you have Sparrow, 79. Brayshaw, I thought, really started well, but then faded very, very quickly. And just no role there for him at the moment until Salem comes back. Rivers, Bowie. Rivers only got there in the last quarter. Bowie, another iffy game. Hunter, bad game. Jordan, Pickett, just not a good game for them fantasy-wise looking here. And especially for those who held Grundy, he only got to 48, and that's just a horrific round-ruining score. And then you have the big rookies here. Van Rooyen, who's probably going to get... I don't think he gets that 2 weeks overturned, so he's going to be out for 2 weeks. And he made... and he only got 41, stopping any cash gen at all. And then you have Chandler here, who barely beat his break-even and got to 37 in the end. So he's also a trade-out for people at this point. He is 500k Chandler, so I think he's 5'11". So he can be with Phillip, who got into a 700k guy, and there's plenty of 700k guys, such as even McPherson. McPherson's 780k, but there are so many low 700k guys. Even Whitfield, I wouldn't go Parker. You could risk it with Butters, but I wouldn't. And there's other guys, even Machito Owens you could go for. But yeah, so that's basically the video there of the Gold Coast versus Melbourne game. And I'll see you guys in another video. Thanks guys, goodbye.